Questions?
Saw Jim Boylan there on the sideline. What's he doing with you guys?
Yeah, no, he's traveling around and visiting teams. So it's great to see him. And I think, I did it when I was out. So you have time and gives you an opportunity to go around and visit with different people that you know. He was Johnny's coach, Johnny Bryant's coach in college. So it's great for those two guys to connect as well.
How long is he going to be with you guys for?
Probably a couple days. And he's got a lot on his plate right now.
Is there a difference in your messaging or your approach in season 2, or is it the same as it was right from the start?
Well, I think it's important in any season that you lay out your plan at the beginning of the year. Your first meeting is critical, and you have to start at a zero base. So what happened last year was last year, really has nothing to do with this year, and then you got to start all over. And you build your foundation first with your fundamentals on both offense and defense, and you try to establish how you're going to practice, how you're going to play, and how you're going to approach things. And I think the work part, the togetherness, teamwork, understanding all that goes into winning, that's something that you build each and every day. But you start all over each season. It doesn't matter whether you finished in last or you finished first. The next year, it's a new year.
Do you expect Nerlens back tomorrow night?
We'll see how he feels. He went through practice today, did well. See how he feels in the morning, and then take a look at it after the shoot around.
If he comes back, how do you handle, assuming he ties in the rotation, how do you handle Jericho Sims? I mean, he obviously played well. Do you still try to get him minutes, or how do you handle it?
We'll see how it unfolds. And the idea you're trying to find that balance of getting your rotation set for the regular season, and that part of with the change in preseason games going from 8 to 4, there's a shorter amount of time. So the main thing is to make sure when the ball goes up on the 20th, you're ready for that day. And so in the way it's unfolded with injuries or guys missing for personal reasons, it's good because it gives you an opportunity to take a look at different guys. Getting the opportunity to look at Jericho, getting the opportunity to look at Kevin. Those are all pluses. Over the course of the season that you need everybody. So you want to see where they're at. You want to make sure that they understand their role and how they fit in. And then a lot of things happen over the course of the season. And I think you have to have a strategy for everything. So if you have injury, how do you approach that? If you have foul trouble, how do you approach that? If you're playing from a deficit, how do you approach that? If you're playing with the lead, how do you approach? So you want to take advantage of what everyone's strengths are. You cover up their weaknesses, and you want the team to understand that.
What do you think about how RJ works on his game, or has worked on his game coming into this
I
year?
love RJ. He has a lot of pride. He's put a lot of extra time in. Comes in at night. He's really improved, I think, as a practice player, and just his understanding of the NBA game. He comes in each day with a very upbeat, positive attitude, and he's a very good worker. And so he's going to benefit from that. And those were all the things that Coach K told me about him prior to me getting here. So I knew the type of person we were getting. And then once you get to spend time with him and see who he is as a person, a worker, as a competitor, those type of guys usually continue to get better.
Do you think with the addition of Kemba and Evan, does it change what he does on the floor at all?
No, not really. I think, and that's the challenge. The challenge for your best players is to bring the best out of each other, not just themselves. And so I think their experiences can help RJ. They've been through a lot of things, And so, they're sharing with each other, the different things they've been through. We have really good veteran leadership, and I think that's a huge positive. And I think when you look at RJ's age and see the way he's worked and what he's done, I think the sky's the limit for him. He just has to continue to grow, challenge himself each day, come in with ready to practice, to learn, to grow, to get better. And that's usually what he does every day.
Tom, to get to that next level for him as a scorer and as an all-around player, is that more of a mental or physical thing, you think, for him?
Well, and I would say, I don't want him to measure himself statistically in terms of the scoring, what does it look like? I want it to be more of being an all-around player. The thing that I liked about what he did last year was he averaged almost 18 points a game on a playoff team. So it wasn't a guy on a bad team getting empty stats. They were meaningful. He contributed to winning. I think he wants to grow. He's challenged himself to be an all-around player, to read the game. The game tells you what to do. I think the more pressure you put on people, he's going to get double-teamed more. He has to be ready for that. And anytime you're double-teamed, don't fight pressure with pressure. Just make the right read. Move the ball. When we get 2 on the ball, that means it's easy offense. It means it's 4-on-3 on the backside. So I think getting to that mindset, understanding how he could impact the game in a lot of different ways, with his rebounding, running the floor hard, getting downhill, making the rim read, putting pressure on people. Those are things that impact winning, and then guarding people, and not only his individual defense, but his team defense.
Tom, along those lines, with Julius, obviously, last year, shot the ball incredibly well, and he trusted the pass, and he came in incredible shape. As you're looking ahead to this season, are there any aspects of his game that you think he could take to the next level? Anything specific that you're looking at with him?
Yeah, just continue to do what he did. Last year he had an incredible year. He put a lot of time into it. And last year was his first playoff experience. So I think he had an opportunity to take a step back and learn from that. And he understands when you do the things that he's done, when you average 24, 25 points a game, and you're getting 10 rebounds and 6 assists, you're going to get a lot of attention. So then you have to realize, okay, if they're going to give me that type of attention, how could I take advantage of that? And so I think playing off the pass more, moving without the ball, there's a lot of different things that he can do. His versatility is great. He can run the floor, he can post, he can move without the ball, he could offensive rebound, he could shoot the three, he could put it on the floor. So there's a lot of different things that he can do, and there's a lot of different ways that he can score, right? But it's being an all-around player and impacting the game. And I like the way our team is built, and then it's going to be the willingness to sacrifice and put the team first for all our players. And the more talented players that you have, the more sacrificing has to be done. The team has to come first. And I know, and I go back to my time in Boston, and when we won the championship in 2008, we had 3 guys that sacrificed a lot in order for the team to win a championship. And Garnett, Pierce, and Allen, both were scored in the mid-20s the year before they got there. They got to Boston, they all sacrificed for each other, averaged 17, 18, and the team was terrific and won a championship. And we won the championship because of their willingness to sacrifice for each other.
Tom, you talk about that team first and sacrifice, and you see what goes on. I mean, I'm expecting you to comment on it, but like Kyrie, the Nets just announced Kyrie's not playing with them, and Simmons stuff. How important is that, the way your team has kind of bought into some of the other stuff of being team first?
Yeah, well, I have enough to worry about here, so that's why I'm just worried about us. And I love the group that we have, like from our vets to our young guys. It's just a great group to be around. You never come in not looking forward to seeing them, being with them, and working together. And when you get a group that makes that type of commitment, to not only themselves but to each other, it's special. And we got a lot of work to do. It's not going to be easy, but I look forward to doing it with these guys. They're special.
But does that type of situation also underscore kind of what you've been saying all along, that you never really know what's going to happen in terms of, the Nets are a team that everybody thought was going to be the #1 title contender, and probably they still are, but you guys have a shot just because you don't know what's going to happen. You guys, the way things shake out, you don't know, so let things play out, in other words.
Well, and that's the beauty of sports. I mean, when you think about it, it's like you go into a season and you don't know how it's going to unfold, and you don't know, things can change very quickly in this league, and they can go from being bad to going real well very quickly, and they can do the opposite. So you could be sailing along smoothly, and then all of a sudden you can get derailed by one injury. And so that's part of sports. The idea is to practice and improve and play your best down the stretch, and then you let the chips fall where they may once you get there. But you have to build those habits all season long. I think if you think you're going to do that once you get there, I think you're fooling yourself. And so for us, it's about how we work together. We have young guys. That's the exciting thing about our team, is we have young guys that can improve, and they will, as long as we can work hard and we're healthy. That's a big part of it. But you have to play the games.
Anything about this first couple of weeks surprised you, or is it just pretty much what you thought you would see from
I'd say, and again, like being around Kemba and Evan, like seeing, you always have a preconceived notion of what they're like from, coaching against them, and then, you have, friends in the industry that have coached them and people that played with them. So, but until you get around them, you really don't know who they are. But seeing how they work and how they fit into the team and who they are as people, is that stood out. And obviously I had the opportunity with our rookies. They were around all summer, and the rookies are real competitive, and I love that about them. And every day they come in and they're trying to scratch their way in there, and I love that. I think that helps move our team forward. And then the way those vets have embraced those young guys, I think that's important for us.
All right, thanks, Tibbs.
Yep. Thank you.